Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix this bad boy together. And guys, this is some stuff I'm really excited to see that I'm about to bring you. Because we've got some stuff coming out of the Republican conferences, or excuse me, not conferences, that's the wrong word, committees. And this is what I'm talking about. Destroying registries, preventing registries, getting money taken away from the ATF at the tune of 40%. ATF DEA merger. Well, I already told you a couple weeks ago that was dead, but they confirmed it's dead. Guys, this is a big one. So everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are driving towards freedom. We would love to have you along for the ride. All right, listen. At Braden LOA on X, y'all know what to do. It's the next place to be. Trust me, jump over there. The distribution of information and exchange is so much faster. All right. Let's go straight into the updates because this is going to be a shorter video and preparation for the later video where I'm going to do a live reaction to a few parts of the Sean Ryan Newsom video coming up later tonight. But right now, check this out. The House has shut down AG Pam Bondi's idea to merge the ATF and the DEA into a super agency, preventing a backdoor to increase ATF funding, an increase in ATF tactical units, and reduced ATF oversight and accountability. Now, this is one of those things, I'm just going to read it to you and then I'm going to tell you where we've been on this because this is an important one. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms provided that no funds made available by this or any other act may be used to transfer the functions, missions, or activities of the ATF to other agencies or departments. Okay, I told you, and this is an important piece, a couple weeks ago, that they were not going to be able to merge the ATF and the DEA. I showed you congress.gov, and I showed you some of the statements that Bondi was making. They were never going to be able to actually do the language that she said. Now, there's another thing that she was talking about, which kind of addresses this around the funds. Specifically, the use of the funds cannot be transferred or functions to other agencies. That is the sweet spot. It's not about the ATF and the DEA becoming the super ATF DEA. It's about using the money and the personnel in an unregulated fashion. That's what was just prevented. Again, the merger was never going to happen like officially because Trump just signed a pin because it had to be done by Congress. We talked about that. But now they've actually also taken care of the funds that can be transferred. That's a big deal. All right. GOA-backed language to delete the ATF's illegal gun registry has also been included in the House Commerce, Justice, Science Appropriations Bill. And these bills that we're talking about are all funding bills, by the way. None of the funds made available by this act may be used to record, sorry, I just jumped myself up, used to record or maintain any recording of any record delivered to the Attorney General pursuant to this code. None of the funds appropriated by this act shall be used for the out-of-business records imaging system database maintained by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosive. So therefore, they just called out specifically the program by name. They are scanning these things in a database that is not searchable. We already knew they did that. But they just said it in the halls of Congress. Thank you very much. We, as gun owners in general, were correct. All right, let's keep on trucking. So this is the announcement that they made prior. This is GOA's announcement. House Appropriations GOP released proposed Commerce, Justice, Science, and Appropriations bill text. Now, here's the high level. And I'm going to kind of walk you through what this actually is. So this is the other part of funding the government. There's the reconciliation package, which is the one big beautiful bill, that whole shenanigan. And then there's these packages. Now, these are meant to fund the government with everything that did not get into the one big beautiful bill. Okay? Here's what ATF is, what GOA is referring about the ATF. The ATF DEA merger was rejected. 25% ATF budget cut. Fast NFA processing protected. Again, you can argue the constitutionality of that as a separate conversation. I'm just giving you the high levels. ATF illegal gun registry deleted. Frame and receiver rule defunded. That's a big one. Pistol brace rule defunded. Engaged in the business rule defunded. Red flag laws defunded. Biden export restrictions defunded, and more. Okay, so I love the deleted of the registry. I love the defunding of the frame and receiver, the pistol brace, and the engaged in business rule, and red flag laws, and Biden's export restrictions. All defunded. Now, this still has to go through the whole passage process, but what they put out here, I'm absolutely down for. This is really good stuff. defunded and deleted. I'm totally down with it. Let's keep on trucking. Here's some other stuff in here. Again, this is supposed to be a faster video before the live review of the Sean Ryan podcast with Newsom, which I'll do tonight. House GOP are proposing the largest budget cut in the ATF history. The proposal also says the ATF only gets 40% of its budget unless the agency keeps NFA wait times down, so it puts a contingency on it. We will keep fighting for more ATF budget cuts until it and all unconstitutional gun control is gone. Right here. Open. Provided further that not more than 40% of the amounts made available under this heading may be obligated unless processing times for the National Firearms Act applications do not exceed 120 days in case of paper applications and 60 days in electronic. So effectively, they said if you're going to get this money, you have to make sure the NFA process expedites. Again, you can totally make the argument that the NFA is absolutely unconstitutional. Absolutely you can. In this instance of this video, I'm just telling you this is what they've included, okay? Now this last one right here, I want to show you this one because this one I think is also really important. House Republicans are proposing a GEO-backed total ban on federal gun registration. The ban would include the NFA's unconstitutional national firearms transfer and registration record. H.R. 1 failed to eliminate the NFA gun restrictions. House GOP owes this to gun owners, talking about the one big beautiful bill and how they did not get it delisted and they did not get it removed. It's what GOA is referring to when it says HR 1 failed. That's what they're talking about, one big beautiful bill. And here is the language in that piece. None of the funds made available by this or any other act may be used to create, operate, or maintain a federal firearms registry. So, in summation, this is why I really like this. I'm going to go back to this one, I believe. I love this layout of this post. ATF and DEA merger rejected. You and I already had a conversation about that about a month ago. That is not a new piece of information. We knew a month ago that that wasn't going to happen in the way that it was being projected. 25% ATF budget cut. That's good. I'm down with that. Fast NFA processing protected. Of course, like I said, you can absolutely be irritated by the fact that the NFA even exists. I totally get it. What they included in this was actually not only the NFA processing requirements expedited, but also a performance review, effectively 60 days for electronic and 120 days for paper. ATF's illegal gun registry deleted. I want that to happen yesterday. If that happens, that is a massive one. Frame and receiver rule, defunded. Pistol brace rule, defunded. Engage in the business rule, defunded. Red flag laws, defunded. All right. The engage in business rule has already pretty much been done away with through the DOJ. The pistol brace rule also has kind of met its end and demise. I like the defunding of all of these. Red flag laws particularly, I despise red flag laws. And to see them completely and totally defunded in this, I'm totally down for. But that's the real quick video I wanted to throw together for you guys. That's kind of the update that's coming out of Congress as of right now. Stay tuned for tonight when I do a live, probably in a couple hours from now, where I break down the Sean Ryan Newsom interview, because that's a very important piece. There's a lot of gun stuff in that I have to hit on. And I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.